Many of us have experienced a constant, unyielding chase after something, a career goal, happiness, love, success, only to find that no matter how hard we try, these goals seem to remain just beyond our reach. The harder we push, the more elusive these desires become. It's a cycle that many are all too familiar with, one that leads to frustration and disappointment. The more we desperately chase, the more distant the object of our desire seems to grow. This experience is at the heart of a paradox in the Buddhist teachings. The more we chase, the more it eludes us. But when we stop chasing, when we stop clinging to the outcomes, we often find that everything we've been searching for starts to fall into place. This paradox is deeply rooted in Zen wisdom, which teaches us the art of letting go. Letting go isn't about abandoning our goals or aspirations. It's about releasing our attachment to the outcome and freeing ourselves from the cycle of relentless striving. True freedom comes when we stop trying to control every aspect of our lives and let things unfold as they will. The first principle: focus on what you can control. One of the core principles of Buddhist philosophy is the understanding that we cannot control everything around us, but we can control our responses. There's a Zen story about a weary traveler who approaches a river and sees a monk sitting calmly by the water. The traveler, exasperated by the chaos around him, asks, "How do you stay so calm in such a chaotic world?" The monk looks at the river and responds, "The river simply flows around the rocks. It doesn't struggle with obstacles. It moves with grace." The monk's answer is profound. Just like the river, we must learn to flow with the challenges that come our way. We cannot control other people's actions, nor can we always control the circumstances we find ourselves in. But we can control how we respond to those challenges. Buddha's teachings emphasize that true peace comes from focusing on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and reactions. In this fast-paced world, we often find ourselves spending energy on things that we cannot change. We stress about the past, worry about the future, and try to force outcomes that are beyond our influence. The key to peace lies in letting go of the need to control everything around us. Instead, we focus on cultivating inner peace by mastering our own responses. When we begin to focus on what we can control, we free ourselves from the weight of external circumstances. The second principle: embrace imperfection. Another important teaching in Zen wisdom is the value of embracing imperfection. Life, like a cracked cup, is not perfect. But just as the cracks in the cup allow light to pass through in a unique way, our imperfections add depth and meaning to our lives. There is a Zen story about a master who pours tea into a cracked cup. A student, noticing the flaw, asks, "Why do you use this broken cup?" The master replies, "This cup, like life, is cracked, but it still serves its purpose. The cracks allow the light to shine through in a way that a perfect cup cannot." This story reminds us that life doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. Many people spend their entire lives striving for perfection, believing that once they've reached it, they'll finally be happy. But in doing so, they miss out on the beauty that exists in imperfection. Every mistake, every flaw, every misstep is an opportunity for growth. The cracks in our lives allow the light of wisdom, compassion, and insight to shine through. Buddhism teaches us to let go of our attachment to perfection and embrace life as it is. By accepting our imperfections and the imperfections of others, we open ourselves to a deeper, more meaningful existence. True peace comes when we stop chasing after an unattainable ideal and start living fully in the present, flaws and all. The third principle, practice, mindfulness. Mindfulness, or being fully present in the moment, is another key principle in Buddhism. There is a Zen story about a master who continues to pour tea into a cup that is already full. The tea overflows, and the student asks, "Why do you keep pouring when the cup is already full?" The master responds, "Your mind is like this cup. It's already full of worries from the past and anxieties about the future. Until you empty your mind, you cannot receive the tea." This story illustrates the importance of being present. Too often, our minds are cluttered with thoughts about what has already happened or what might happen in the future. We are so focused on achieving success, happiness, or love that we miss out on the beauty of the present moment. The key to mindfulness is to focus entirely on what is happening right now. When we do this, we experience the world fully, without distraction or judgment. The practice of mindfulness helps us let go of the past and the future and focus on the present. It allows us to experience life as it is, without the interference of our thoughts or emotions. When we practice mindfulness, we cultivate a sense of peace and clarity that can guide us through even the most challenging situations. The fourth principle, perspective, is everything. Life often presents us with challenges, and how we perceive those challenges greatly influences how we experience them. There is a Zen parable about a farmer whose horse runs away. His neighbors come to him and say, "How unlucky you are. What will you do now?" The farmer replies, "Who knows? Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad." A few days later, the horse returns, bringing with it a wild stallion. The neighbors exclaim, "How fortunate you are now. You have two horses." But the farmer responds, "Who knows? Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad." This story highlights the power of perspective. Life is full of ups and downs, and the way we interpret these events determines how we experience them. What may seem like a setback today could turn out to be a blessing tomorrow. The farmer does not label events as good or bad. He simply accepts them as they come, knowing that life's true meaning lies in how we choose to perceive it. This teaching invites us to reflect on our own lives. How often do we judge a situation as good or bad, only to later discover that it was neither? By shifting our perspective, we can transform challenges into opportunities for growth. The way we see the world shapes our experience of it, and by cultivating a more open, flexible mindset, we can find peace even in the most difficult circumstances. The fifth principle, let go of entitlement. Zen wisdom teaches us the importance of letting go of entitlement. A story tells of a wandering monk who is invited into a village and given a simple meal by a kind homeowner. After eating, the monk expresses gratitude, saying, "Life owes us nothing. Every gift is a blessing." When asked why he doesn't ask for more, he replies, "Expect nothing from life, and everything becomes a gift." Entitlement leads to dissatisfaction. When we feel entitled to something, whether it's recognition, success, or love, we create inner tension. Life doesn't always meet our expectations, and when we feel entitled, we set ourselves up for disappointment. But when we let go of entitlement and learn to see every experience as a gift, we open ourselves to joy. This principle encourages us to reflect on our own expectations. Where do we feel entitled in life? What would happen if we let go of those expectations and embrace the blessings already present in our lives. When we stop expecting, we can begin to appreciate the simple gifts that life offers. Gratitude, not entitlement, leads to true peace and happiness. Conclusion: the power of letting go. The teachings of Buddhism provide a roadmap for living a peaceful, fulfilling life. Through focusing on what we can control, embracing imperfection, practicing mindfulness, shifting our perspective, and letting go of entitlement, we open ourselves to the flow of life. When we stop clinging to outcomes, we free ourselves from the cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. We create space for joy, peace, and fulfillment to enter our lives. The more we embrace these teachings, the more we experience the present moment and the true wisdom it offers. The art of letting go is not about giving up. It's about releasing our attachment to the things that bind us. When we let go, we find that the peace we've been searching for was within us all along. By living with an open heart and a clear mind, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. May you find the strength to release what no longer serves you, to let go of the need to control, and to embrace the beauty of life as it unfolds. Through letting go, you will discover the true freedom and peace that Buddhism teaches us to seek.